Welcome to Retro Needy, where we have a mighty need for nostalgia. Now, many may say that the 1980s came out with some of the best cartoons. Today, we're looking at our list of the top 10 best 80s cartoons. Let's see if you remember these pieces of childhood treasures. Number 10. Muppet Babies. Produced by Henson Associates and Marvel Productions, The Muppet Babies aired on TV from 1984 to 1991, showing the young Muppets in their imaginary adventures in the nursery under the care of a faceless nanny, whom we could always recognize by her choice of stripy green socks. Before the Muppet Babies cartoon aired, audiences got to see a sneak peek during the 1984 movie The Muppets Take Manhattan, when they show puppet Muppet Baby versions during a dream sequence where Miss Piggy visualizes all the characters being young toddlers together. Number 9. It's Punky Brewster. In 1985, It's Punky Brewster graced our television sets. Based on the popular sitcom Punky Brewster, the cartoon actually featured a lot of the same cast voicing their respective characters, but an additional character was created for the cartoon, that of the magical sprite Glomer, who would sometimes cause Punky and her friends a lot of trouble with his magical powers. Even though this cartoon only came out with 26 episodes, it is still remembered by many who used to watch Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s. Number 8. The Adventures of the Gummi Bears. Disney's Adventures of the Gummi Bears first aired in 1985 as a Saturday morning cartoon. According to multiple sources, Michael Eisner suggested making a show about gummy bears because his kid liked the candy. And from that, I guess they came up with the whole series about bears with magical advancements. But anyway, The Gummi Bears is often credited as one of the first shows that helped jumpstart the Disney cartoon animation boom that started in the late 80s. Number 7. Alvin and the Chipmunks. In 1983, we saw a brand new take on Ross Bagdasarian Sr.'s 1960s Singing Chipmunks from The Alvin Show with the new and improved Alvin and the Chipmunks. In this 1980s series, we saw the introduction of the Chipettes, the female counterparts to the Chipmunks, as well as the beginning of multiple movies centered around the Chipmunks. This franchise was still popular as late as the mid-2010s with live-action movies, and who knows, maybe they may even have more in the future. Number 6. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In December 1987, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon started as a 5-part miniseries on television and ended up running until nearly 1997. This series not only was great to watch, but it also gave kids a subconscious appetite for pizza. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it also added to the rise of martial arts and karate in the 80s and 90s as well. The popularity of this comic book-based animated series helped pave the way for live-action movies in the 90s, toys, multiple reboots, and to this day, it is still one of the most recognizable brands in media. Number 5. Garfield and Friends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and Friends. Based on the famous comic strips by Jim Davis, many people were first introduced to Garfield in the animated TV territory through a 1982 television special titled Here Comes Garfield. Later on, this lasagna-loving cat would return for a full-fledged series with Garfield and Friends on CBS from 1988 to 1994. Each episode of Garfield and Friends would include a segment revolving around Garfield and one revolving around the characters in U.S. Acres, which was another comic strip created by Jim Davis. The Garfield franchise maintained popularity through reboots and movies in the 2000s, and the original series can still be found through streaming services today. Number 4. Transformers. The Transformers. Based on Hasbro's popular toy line of vehicles who can transform into robots, the Transformers cartoon series aired from 1984 to 1987. The show depicts two types of giant alien robots: the Autobots, who protect their newfound planet from the evil robots known as the Decepticons. This series was made possible with the help of Japanese Toei Animation, and in Japan, the show was known as Fight Super Robot Life Form Transformers. The Transformers franchise was also another series that went through several reboots throughout the years, but of course, we still remember the original. Number 3. Thundercats. Lion-O, Tigra, Panthro, and the crew were first introduced to television audiences in 1985 with the animated series Thundercats. These humanoid cats lived on a planet called Third Earth, fighting against Mumm-Ra and his mutant henchmen, who are trying to destroy the Thundercats and take the Eye of Thundera. This series originally only had 4 seasons and 1 full-length animated movie, but like others on this list, it was also later rebooted in the 2000s. Number 2. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. In 1981, Mattel created the Masters of the Universe franchise and toy line, and in 1983, we were introduced to the full-fledged animated TV series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. In the original Mattel toy franchise, there was no Prince Adam alter ego. It was the minds at DC Comics, who seemed to be really good at making heroes with alter egos, that introduced us to Eternia's Prince Adam. Otherwise, we would have just had a muscle dude wearing a loincloth with a big sword. But anyway, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe ran until 1985, but Mattel wasn't done, and this time they decided to target young girls' television with the spin-off She-Ra, Princess of Power, which ran until 1987. But wait, there's more! Netflix also rebooted the Masters of the Universe animated series in 2021. Number 1. DuckTales. DuckTales follows the life of rich Scrooge McDuck and his 3 nephews who live with him, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, as they have adventures or try to keep Uncle Scrooge's enemies away from his giant vault of money. The cartoon series first premiered in 1987 and ran through November 1990, with a full-length theatrical movie released in August before the end of the series. DuckTales is noted as the first Disney cartoon to be made for weekday syndication, and along with the previously mentioned Gummy Bears, these shows made way for 90s series like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and Tailspin, creating the Disney Afternoon. And just like many others on this list, DuckTales was also rebooted, this time on Disney XD in 2017. The 1980s certainly did come out with some really good animated shows, many with franchises that are still recognized or even still going strong through reboots or reruns to this day. Was your favorite show on the list? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click that subscribe button so you don't miss the next nostalgic flashback here on Retro Needy.